Hi, seventh graders. Welcome. And today we are going to talk about the Paleolithic era. Now, on your guided notes that you should have, I'd like you to write the learning target, which is I can determine what life was like during the Old Stone Age, which is during the Paleolithic times. So, we're going to be looking at a few things. The first thing that I want you to think about is we're going to look at what archaeologists have learned about the Old Stone Age from just artifacts that were left over and clues they have seen throughout history. So, first of all, you need to know that early humans during the Paleolithic era were considered nomads. They did not live in one place, they migrated and they kind of followed food around. And so, if you see here on this map, archaeologists believe that early humans began on the continent of Africa and kind of in this general area where the country today of Ethiopia is located. Now, it took thousands and thousands of years for them to migrate. And once they started moving and migrating, they left artifacts behind. And so these artifacts are the evidence that archaeologists have used to kind of decipher where and when early humans migrated. All right, so what does it mean, or what did it mean to live in the Stone Age? Well, let's take a look. So, first of all, early humans hunted for their food. And a lot of times they hunted big game like mammoths. They used these stone tools here, spears, and other kinds of stone tools to help them get food. So, on your first characteristic, I want you to put that they hunted animals with stone tools. Okay, the next characteristic of the Stone Age is they lived in temporary shelters. Now, this makes sense because they were nomads. So they never lived in one place for a very long time. They followed their food around, so their shelters needed to be temporary. Now, sometimes they created their shelters out of things like animal skins, possibly even mammoth bones, and that type of thing. But they also lived in caves that they found along the way. So those were their temporary shelters. Thirdly, they discovered fire, and fire was a really important discovery. This allowed them to cook their food, it allowed them to keep warm when the climate changed, and it even allowed them to stay up later at night because they had a light source and perhaps even share stories around the fire. And then finally, they gathered their food as well. So, another word for this is foraged. And what that means is they were in areas of bushes or trees and they gathered nuts and berries and collected those for food. That's what it means to forage. So, those are the four characteristics of living in the Stone Age. And what I want you to do right now is if you had a partner with you, brainstorm and discuss with your partner what you think life might have been like one day in the Stone Age. From the time you woke up to the time you went to bed, what do you think you would have been doing? If you don't have a partner, you can just reflect on that on your own and write it in that brainstorming space. So hopefully now you can describe what life was like in the old Stone Age.